Entitled neighbor, get her day. I get a frantic call from my neighbor Dean, who lives right behind me at 1:30, saying something about City being there and need to talk to me. Slight backstory. His neighbor is a Karen of the worst kind. She will call the city if the grass is above half-inch above city rules. Called the city on me for having chicken in my backyard. Didn't know I wasn't supposed to have them at the time. The neighbor city allowed it. Dean is an awesome guy who has known my wife since birth. He's in his 70s, retired Navy, worked on F-4, became a F-14 plane captain, the head guy who makes sure all maintenance is done right. I've known him for the past 15 years. Really good guy. Lots of fun stories. He had received a letter from the city the previous Monday that the roof on his shed did not meet city standards, and either had to replace the roof or demolish it. Last Friday, I got on the Orange Store site, ordered all the material for me to fix the roof. Typically, he would jump in with me and we would both handle things. He's a fit sob, but he just got diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. He's tired all the time, me in my 40s, no problem, Dean, I got this. I'm a capable carpenter. 1:30, I tell my super gotta go. Neighbor having issues. I get there 1:50 since I'm close by. Get out of my truck with all the gear from the construction company I work for. The company I work for is a multi-million-dollar development company. And Karen starts K. That's him. He's the one doing the work, with a evil grin. In my city, if you replace a roof on your house over 100 square feet, you need a permit that even a homeowner can pull. For a shed, however, you don't need a permit unless you're charging money / a contractor. I see a zoning guy, AZG, and 2 building inspector, 1 senior, SI, 1 junior, JI. Senior inspector sees me, SI. Do you work with Vicky? Me. Yeah? Why? SI. Don't worry. What's your name? Me. Mark, JI. What makes you think you can do roofing without a permit? I mean, with everything I see here, you're probably charging a pretty penny. Karen. He started Saturday so he could avoid you guys and make more money. That's how these guys work. Me. I'm helping Dean out. Phone rings. I have to take this. It's one of my boss. Vicky is calling me. SI called her and check on stuff knowing full well $1 million company wouldn't be doing a shed roof for just some old guy. Vicky is a Virginia Tech graduate who became a supervisor right out of school. We have worked on projects 5 years ago when all she was is book smart. She's a lot younger than I am and had a rough start because she thought she needed to show dominance. She didn't. But she did have to learn real quick that paper doesn't always go as planned. Her dad is the head structural engineer that all city inspector have to follow, and he's well liked by all inspector. So all inspectors know her. I was with Vicky when I ordered the material Friday. She wanted to know what was up, and in a nutshell told her Karen was being a bee and causing trouble. She goes not for long, back at junior. JI. So what's the value of the contract? Karen. Yeah. How much you charging? Me. Nothing, so I guess 0? JI. What do you mean 0? That's all brand new material. Me. Oh, material was $700, but Dean purchased it. Here's the receipt with his name on it. Karen. You can't hide all the money you're charging. Look at all the air hose and nail guns with big brand names, Saw. Me, what's your point? SI. Gets a text, looks at it really quick. Mark, where do you live? Me. Right there, pointing out the house behind. SI. So, I'll take it that you're really close to homeowner Dean since you have a gate going through it. Me. Yes, sir. Especially since Dean got diagnosed with cancer, I've been checking on him a little more. Then he got the letter stating he has to fix it. I'm just trying to take off some stress off the old fart. SI. Roger that. In this case, it's as if one of his children did it. Karen. What does that mean? SI. It means if Mark isn't charging him, no matter what tools he owns, he doesn't need a permit. Karen. I had to pay $3,500 to get my garage done 3 months ago, and he gets off just paying $700. SI. Yep. Mark, do you mind if I take a look at your work? Me. Sure can. Jumps up on the roof and calls ZG. After COVID, every inspector has been equipped with iPads so they can do virtual inspection. This iPad is also connected to all city property, as in what permits got pulled and what not. And he brought his with him on the roof. SI. Looks pretty solid. Me. Yape. Had to change plywood and replace a couple of 2x4. SI. Is that a pond next door? Me. Sure does. Sigh. Did you do a site visit for a pond, ZG? ZG. I sure didn't. Did you do a site visit for the roof on their garage? Sure looks like 500 square feet. Oh, that concrete back there looks pretty fresh. Me. Yape. She had it done in May. With an evil grin since I figured out the game. SI. Let me get some pictures of all of this. We get off the roof. SI. Junior, what's the penalty for altering and remodeling a roof without a permit? JI. $50 per 100 square feet, plus all new work must be torn down and re-inspected, sir. Karen. Is that what you found on Dean's roof because of the repairs he's getting all that? Evil Grin is back looking at me, SI Jr. What's the penalty for pouring concrete without checking with zoning and without a permit? JI. $200 per 100 square feet, sir. All has to be demo and check with watershed. Karen. But there's no concrete here. SI. Junior, what's the penalty for a pond over 1,500 gallon without checking with zoning or building permit? Karen's face went pale. No more Grin. JI. Huh, I don't know. ZG. I do. $1.75 for electrical connections without permit, plus $1,500 a day that the pond is there without permission, and since it's up against the fence, there's a 10-feet watershed water easement for water to perk there. It's not going to happen even with a variance. The pond is 16 feet by 16 feet triangle-shaped. Karen. You're not supposed to look at my yard. You're here for this yard. Do you know who I am? I know Melon. He's your boss. He'll fix all you... SI. Yeah, I know Melon too. He got fired 2 months ago for taking bribes, so we have a new boss, Karen, and she's a by-the-book trying to clean up Melon's mess. Karen. Leaving. I can't believe this shit. That's not how it's supposed to go, damn it. I'm laughing a little too loud. Story 2. Entitled Neighbor Gets Her Day with Karma Update. So I finished Dean's roof Wednesday. My deadline was Friday. Couple mechanical failure and rain stopped me from finishing Tuesday. He had zoning inspection on Thursday and everything passed, so he doesn't have to demolish the shed. Zoning guy. Noticed that the water is no longer running in the waterfall feature in the neighbor's pond. But it's still standing, so add another $1,500 for the day. Now today I was working doing odds and ends getting ready for next week, and I get a phone call from the president of the company, Jack J. Me. Hi, Jack. What did I do wrong this time? Usually calls me that I smoke too much or drink too much coffee, or I'm too hard on the subcontractor and need to back off. J. Mr. Mark, for once you haven't, but I've eared you have an interesting neighbor. Me. Oh, you spoke to Vicky. J. No, not really. We had a meeting with the city about the 30 acres Centurion project and Karen was there. Here's what happened. Neighbor N decided that she would pay this new head inspector a visit on Wednesday. She didn't just nonchalantly walk in there, but march in there with authority. N. How dare your inspector inspect my property when they are responding to a gross violation that I reported on Dean's shed? You need to remove these citation immediately. Karen. K. Okay. Hi, my name is Karen. What is your name? N. I'm neighbor. Now, what are you going to do about these? Throwing 4 pieces of paper at Karen. Karen looks at the paperwork. K. Let me call SI to see what's this about. N. I thought you had authority here. Melon would have cleared it already. K. Yes, but Melon is no longer here, is he? Senior inspector fills her in on what happened on Monday. K. Yeah, looks like there's some serious fixing to do. N. That's what I thought. Is there a stamp or are you writing an exemption? K. Well, not really. See, the 10 feet egress that behind you is part of the Chesapeake Bay watershed, and is in fact very bad that you put concrete there. N. What does that mean? K. I'll have to send another inspector to assess the damage you have done. N. All this because company I work for. Mark professionally did the work at my neighbor house. K. Mark happens to work for company I work for and did the roof as caretaker of Dean as stated by SI. Neighbor stormed out. Today when I got home there was a small excavator with a demolition hammer attached to it. When my boss told me about this I was laughing hysterically with tears coming down my face. Chesapeake Bay easement are monitored and inspected by the EPA. We know this because we have had to pay quite a few fines from them. Might have more updates afterwards. Entitled Neighbor double down and gets her butt handed to her on a gold platter.